Hello, everyone. I'm Snike, and I'm glad you're here. Today we are back with Coffee Talk for part 8, I believe it is. So let's get into it. I think this is Monday, right? Technically, it's been 1 week in game. Tuesday. I think it's been 1 week in the game. But Tuesday, September 29. Who vows to stop major hospitals selling Fury sedative illegally? Coachella? I'm not sure what Coachella is. I guess I'm uncultured like that. And space might be only a few decades away. That would actually be kind of cool. Imagine baseball wouldn't work though. Now, before we start off with our day, we got to read the short stories. I think we are at Cyberpunk Love Hotel. I think we did the alien one yesterday. Or last episode. Yeah. So let's go to Cyberpunk Love Hotel. Room service. Get this order to room 512. The order came through around 10:30 p.m. I was doing nothing, but in other words, I was waiting for an order to come in. I was tasked to find a bottle of wine and a pack of rubbers. Yes, sometimes guests really do ask for things like this, unfortunately. Talk about being unprepared. The person in charge that night gave me the requested items and let me out of the room to deliver them. From there, I went to the library and waited for the elevator to arrive. While I was waiting, a guest came into the behind me and pressed the elevator to call the elevator. Press the button to call the elevator. He looked at me in awe. I looked back at him, showing him my traditional, standardized hotel smile that management taught me, and he smiled back. When we got into the elevator, he pushed the button for the third floor. Silence filled the tiny room as we ascended, and the guest pulled out his phone from his pocket and started recording me. This again, I thought. I didn't do anything about it. To be precise, I can't do anything about it. It's part of the job, after all. Ding! We reached the third floor. The guest left while still pointing his camera at me. At me. I waited alone until the elevator reached the fifth floor. A few seconds later, I left the elevator and started moving towards room 512. When I was in front of the door, I rang the bell and let the occupants know I arrived. It's here! I hear the muffled voice of a woman. The door opened. Look, hon, they really do use a robot to deliver room service. The woman shouted back at her partner. Yeah, that is so cool, the guy responded, trying to sound interested, though I'm sure he was staring at the woman's butt, and couldn't wait to use the stuff they ordered. I want to take a picture with the robot, okay? The woman said in a saccharine, sweet, mildly nauseating voice. Sure, hon. Wait, are you sure it's okay just to hug a robot like that? Huh. Turned out the man could still think of his with his big brain after all. It's fine. I saw that they even have a robot you can do it with. I'm sure a simple hug won't matter, said the woman. That's a different model. What's next? You're gonna hug a Terminator? I screamed internally. Say cheese, then 1, 2, and 3. Flash. It looked so cute. I was hoping it might look more human-like, though. Maybe they don't have the technology yet, said the adult woman who still hadn't grasped the concept of look but don't touch. Okay, come on, darling. This robot has other things to do. Let's just take our order and let's let it do its job. They took their order and closed the door. Oh, humans. How the hell did your people manage to survive for so long in this universe? I wondered as I trotted back to my dorm, or my room. Oh. Very introspective. This was yesterday's? No, 2 days ago. Next one. The anxious boy and his love story on public transport. Let's see. The day was hot, sunny, and humid. Just like most days in Jakarta. I was standing inside a crowded bus, neither well-functioning air conditioning nor proper ventilation, trying to keep myself productive in the uncomfortable environment by reading my recently bought copy of Maruhuki Harukame's The Elephant Vanishes, while listening to a random playlist on my old iPod. Despite the hellish conditions, you could say I was luckier than most, because I was standing near the rear of the rear door of the bus, leaning my back on the side of the seat, safe enough not to fall out of the bus, breezy enough to breathe freely. As mentioned, I was on a public bus in Jakarta, so naturally I needed to be wary with my surroundings, mostly, keeping my belongings secure from pickpockets and other human pests. I glanced around the bus several times in between pages, and that's when I saw her. It's hard to describe her. She has no specific characteristic to differentiate herself from other women. She was like the perfect example of a girl you could walk past unseeing on the sidewalk every day. A girl you might glance for a second. Then, a few steps later, it would have been hard to even remember her hair color. Never mind what her nose, her eyes, her mouth even looked like. I was standing near the front door of the bus, not leaning on anything or touch anyone, not touching the bacteria-infested hand grip on the ceiling of the bus. Although, to be fair, it might have been hard for her to reach that grip anyway. But still, she stood there with the perfect balance of a tree rooted in healthy soil. She stood as if someone had silently put the Venus de Milo on the bus, and she somehow fit perfectly without anyone noticing it happening. She was wearing a pair of earphones, wired, just like headphones were supposed to be, and a slight smile on her face. Sometimes she closed her eyes for a few moments, enjoying the music only she could hear. Her eyes rarely stayed in one place. They kept wandering around the bus, not too fast, like someone anxious, not too slow, like someone looking at something specific. Maybe, just maybe she's the one, I thought. This isn't the first time a thought like this had crossed my mind. As a hopeless romantic, seeing any woman who piques my interest will immediately trigger a story in my own imagination. A story of how I'll approach them and get to know them. With the Provicio, we're just as I imagine them to be. We start dating, get married, maybe have a couple kids, grow old in our home, so on and so on, I suppose. Random cuties. That's what I call them. Unicorns among horses. The term doesn't apply to any cute girls I see, of course. It has to be someone special. Or at least someone I imagine to be special. The thing is, automatically imagining those stories whenever I happen across a random cutie isn't healthy. It puts a toll on the mind. And of course, my heart. It creates a lot of unhealthy expectations before any opportunities even arise. Oh, She looks at me. We made eye contact for but a brief flash of just seconds. I immediately returned to my book, thinking, Did she notice me staring at her? Did she see what I was thinking? My mind wouldn't stop spinning, overthinking, while my pulse beats one time and then another time in my ears. I continue staring at my book. What happened? I obviously can't read it properly. My mind is all over the place. My eyes were just looking at the words. Nothing was being processed other than sweet thoughts of her. I glanced back at her, and she was staring at me. Eye contact, really more than anything else. It has to mean something. Should I approach her and introduce myself? Yes. Yes, I should. But what if things go wrong? What's the worst thing that could happen if we simply introduce ourselves? First, it's a crowded bus, and moving from the rear door to the front will definitely annoy some people. Second, what if after we approach her, she becomes annoyed and... No, come on. You're overthinking as usual. Nothing bad will happen, even if she does get annoyed. Don't dismiss me. Nothing bad will happen. Well, she might scream and say I'm a pervert, and then the whole bus will beat me to death. Oh, and the worst option. What if we introduce ourselves, and it turns out she's not like we imagined her to be? All that time and energy will be wasted, exchanged for years of agony. Uh-oh. For everything will be fine. Don't worry so much. No matter what happens, second, we still have to try something first. No. There's much too much risk. The debate is still raging inside my head. And that's when it happens. We make eye contact, but again. And this time, it lasts longer than just a few seconds. And then she smiled at me. Just a small curve on those perfectly average, beautiful lips. I quickly returned to my book. See, you do have something. But remember the girl with the violin we saw on the train to Yogyakarta a few years ago? Of course I remember. Exactly. She was just a random person that sat across from you on the train. You don't even remember what month it was. And yet we still remember wearing the maroon coat she was wearing. The violin case she put in the overhead compartment. Her slight reddish hair in the pixie cut. Stop it. That was different. We might have saved ourselves a lot of embarrassment by not talking to her. The thoughts, the noise, the internal dialogue. It just wouldn't stop. I was sweating. And not because of the heat. It was a cold sweat. This had to stop. Stop, I screamed internally. Everything stopped. And just in time, my old iPod randomly shuffled to Explosions in the Spaces. The only moment we were alone. I cranked up the volume, put my book into my bag, and just breathed. Yes, I might lose the chance to meet the one by doing this, but at least as long as I don't know her, she is perfect. Utterly, simply perfect. As far as I know, she might be listening to Explosions in the Space. As far as I know, she might be a big fan of Harukami. and the final dreams 9. As far as I know, she might be single. As far as I know, she might even be 100% a perfect match for me, and that I believe can't exist if my knowledge of her goes any further than what I know right in this moment. Besides, as the old saying goes, if it's meant, it will. The bus stopped in front of the plaza. Senyana, my destination. It was time for me to go. I decided not to look in her direction as I left, knowing that if I looked at her, it would be the last time I ever saw her. That's too hard for a simple, hopeless romantic like me. I left the bus and enjoyed the warm sun and the breeze of fresh air. Finally out of that metal Schrodinger's box. But that's when it happened. I turned my head to the right, and there she was, standing alone. Enjoying the breeze now. She was free of that roasting metal tin can we humans called a bus. She turned her head to the left, showing a glimmer of surprise at seeing me standing here. After that, she smiled. So, if it's meant to be, it will be. That was quite a lovely story, I think. We have one more, I believe. Yep. Okay. I'm going to say it's going to be hard to come off that one, I think. I think we all can agree on that. But let's try. A stray boy and a lonely cat. Midnight. The boy arrives at his home. The ticking sound of the cooling engine fills the dark, empty garage, followed by the scrape of the rusty metal door being forcefully closed. He leaves the garage, and there she is waiting for him to come back home. She always waits in the same exact spot, around the same time. The boy always smiles when he sees her. Meow. The cat calls the boy, demanding the treatment she always receives from him every night in the same spot, around the same time. He laughs quietly as he walks up to her. You've been waiting for me, haven't you? Here, come over here, says the boy to the cat while he pets her fur. The cat purrs loudly and refuses to stand still. She dances around him, stands tall on 2 feet, rubbing her head against his shins, sharing her affection while enjoying their nightly routine. Until suddenly the boy decides that their interaction is enough for today. Stands up, walks away from her, and closes his door. The cat understands that their time for the day is up. They both return to their own lives. The boy did not give the cat something to eat, and the cat did not sleep next to him to help him relax. For she was not his, and he was not hers. Now, that one was very sad and depressing. How are we going to come off that one really high note story onto that one? But that kind of sums up Bailey and Lua's position, doesn't it? How they want to be for each other, but they decide not to. Anyway, let's continue on with our day, shall we? And get on it. After spending 20 minutes just reading stories. And let's go. We really never changed. I know! But it was surprisingly wise. catching up with people from back then. Thank you for forcing me to do it. Don't mention it. Hey, Snake. I'd like to order again. Huge. Back to the experiment? Of course. You know what? Try adding milk to the ingredients you already have. Alright. You know what to do. Tea, ginger, milk. Right? It says tea there. Do not tell me I'm tripping. Tastes just like I asked. Too bad it's not it. What about you, Mr. Hyde? Would you like to order anything else? I'm good for now. I couldn't help but overhear you both. It sounds like you two go way back. Oh, we do, I guess. He was my bodyguard. Oh. Didn't you meet here? Yes, when this was a bar. What happened exactly? He was getting his ass kicked by a couple dwarves. Ah, those two. It was a pretty bad sight, so I intervened. Aren't vampires supposed to, well, you know, be tough? Just because I'm a vampire doesn't mean I know Kung Fu. Besides, I had a couple of drinks. I could have taken them both if I was sober. A couple? Really? You were absolutely trashed, Hyde. You told them I was your bodyguard? Wait, you were not his bodyguard? Well, not at the time. We didn't even know each other back then, but because of the whole fiasco, we both got kicked out. And then this wasted vampire stuck to me. Like, well, you know, to a blanket. Obviously, he was too drunk to drive, so I hailed a cab for him. Turns out he was also too drunk to tell the driver where he lived. And I was stuck with him until morning. Thanks for not leaving me on the street, Carla. Those dwarves would have killed me. Who were they? I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, but it's possible that they had ties to the mafia. I might have lost some of their money to the stock market. A lot of their money. Yikes. They wanted to launder the dirty money, so I decided to screw them over instead. Yeah, I overheard that they were talking about before the fight started. I knew Hyde was innocent. That's why I helped him. Might have been annoying, but he's not a thief. What a stroke of luck. The universe sending me a guardian angel in my time of need. So the next morning, I offered him a job as my bodyguard for real. After all, the trouble you caused me the night before. Hey, I took you to breakfast. Don't tell me that counted for nothing. I have to say, it wasn't my proudest moment. I was broke. Breakfast was an offer I couldn't refuse. It was the late 60s, you know. It wasn't easy finding a job, especially for people like me. Werewolves? War veterans. Ah, I see. How did you go from working as a bodyguard to the hospital, Gala? Well, he was working with me, I noticed. I'd prefer if we skipped that part. Sorry, but I don't want to go into details about it. Oh, it's alright. Forgive me for asking. I don't mind telling you the quick and dirty version. Long story short, he helped me with, something. Let's just say something from my past, really. Thanks to that help, I found a new purpose in life. Helping other people live, really. Of course, it's not easy for a veteran werewolf to become a nurse doctor. That's why I chose hospital admin instead. So you could say I owe this guy my life, thanks to his persistence and stubbornness in helping me when I needed it the most. Thank you for sharing your story with me. I didn't expect to hear such a tale from you. I know. Anyway, Snag, I'd like to order something now. What would you like? Can you make a tea-based drink that's warm and cold at the same time? Tea. Okay, so we gotta get... That's bitter and warm. That's cool. No. No. I mean, that brings up both the warm and cool. So if we double hit it... Actually, did that go up the second time? That definitely brings up the coolness. See, that's only one cool. If we go with a mint, we get extra cool. Milk mint tea. That does not sound good at all. But we can actually do some art. So let's think here. Let's try doing the leaf. I think if we kind of go like this. Or I think I need to do like bigger things in between. Kind of like this, that motion, you know? Etch it. I feel like the etch doesn't really... I think it needs to be bigger, you know? Because, like, I do this... Oh, wait. That's pretty good. I think we're getting there. Because I don't think I can really do, like, the quick thing back and forth. I'm noticing that. I wonder, like, what other people have done to, like, do, like, cool things. Let's do, like, let's split it down the middle. Okay. And then let's do kind of like this shape. And that shit. Write in the comments what you think this is. Okay, you got it down there? I'm going to say that this is the Deadpool logo. Here's your order. Excellent, what I wanted. By the way, it feels like this place is missing something today. Yeah, I haven't seen her today. Speak of the devil. Hello, good people. And one vampire. It's good to see you too, Freya. By the way, we were just talking about you. Oh, really? What about me? I was surprised you weren't here. Is that how you pick up girls young enough to be your granddaughter? That won't work on me. I have no interest in flirting with you. I've got high standards, you know. You look tired, Freya. Our day at work? How could you tell? Call it werewolf instincts. Right. I showed Snake my draft, and I actually got some good feedback. Great to hear! Glad I could help. So I spent the whole night rewriting everything, honestly. And also did some stories for the paper. Overall, it was a pretty good day. It's great to hear. And please don't forget to take a break. You can't overwork yourself after all, otherwise you're going to be paying me a visit in the hospital. It's easy to get carried away by work when you're just on a roll. Will do, sir. And speaking of hospitals, how's your hospital adminning life going? It's not even a word, Freya. Actually, I'm not even sure what you even really do there. It's pretty boring to talk about, but mostly I handle operational stuff happening in the hospital. Things like how much a specialist costs and how much it affects their income, blah blah blah. I also deal with patients and their families. If they require intensive care, such as operations, I go through what we would do and how much it would cost them. Kind of like a biz dev for people's lives, then. You could say that. Damn, that sounds complicated and hard. That's why I'm suited for my job. Someone needs to get very emotionally attached to patients who find this job pretty tough. Whereas heartless people, like my friend here, only see it from a business perspective. Good point. Why do people rarely talk about your kind of job? I guess most people don't really notice we exist or think about the necessity of it. Exactly, it's an interesting job, yet no one talks about it. Maybe because most admins are just like me. We rarely talk about work outside a hospital. Why? For me, I just don't find reason to. It's the patient's personal lives, after all. Such professionalism and loyalty. You should keep hold of that mindset, especially in front of this lady here. He needs to be a bit less loyal, though. Hide. You've been doing this job for a while, right? Almost 50 years now. Whoa, I did not know that. Wait, 50 years in the same position? Uh-huh. Holy, as for a promotion, man. They keep offering me them, but mostly managerial. Take it. I'm not interested. Why? It's just not my interest. I don't want it. Besides, as I told you before, I fit perfectly in my position. But the salary would be better if you take the promotion, right? Of course. But what I get in the moment is much more than enough for me right now. And I still get raises while I'm doing this job. I really can't figure you out. That's Gala for you. Anyway, my shift's starting soon. It's nice catching up, both of you. You're gonna stay hiding? Yes, I am enjoying the vibes here. I'll see you in a few weeks, I guess. Yes. Safe trip. See you around, Snake. And you, Freya. See you. Take care on your way. Someone else gonna come in? I sense it. Spidey senses. Nope. You know, it's kind of hard to believe. Someone like Gala could be your best friend. We were just talking about that before you arrived. Oh, really? Man, I missed an interesting story. How did you guys meet? Seriously. We have to retell the story? Of course. Come on, you're not going anywhere, right? Alright then. We met in this place when it was a bar. Whoa. You never knew Gala used to be in the... I never knew Gala used to be in the army. I mean, he's got the build for it on the front line. Still, though. Why you make the jump from... How should I say this? A physical job to... medic? Well, it's not comfortable talking about it right now. You know why, right? Yeah. If you're going trying to squeeze the story from me, obviously. He doesn't want to talk about it. That's him, not you. Seriously, Freya. Come on. I won't go into details, but going to war messes with your head. Oh, you see why Gala doesn't want to talk about, huh? I don't get it, but it must be difficult, especially back then. The only thing he was confident in was his strength. So he only did work that relied on his muscle. That won't help him get over his trauma, though, right? Of course not. But it was the only thing he could do. Or at least, it's the only thing he thought he could do. But you hired him for his muscle? Hey, I didn't know about all that at the time. Besides, he's good at being a bodyguard, and we weren't that close yet. So, no personal feelings. I needed his strength, and I got to be interested in him. Interested? I think he's a cool person, that's all. After a few months, I noticed the problem. I suggested he take to it with someone, seek help. She refused. No surprises there. But I pushed him into it. How? It's complicated. Eventually, he did go to get professional help. Of course, I've no idea what happened in his therapy sessions. But in the end, he found a new purpose in life. He quit working for me. And not so long after that, he started working at the hospital. And he's been working. Good evening, everyone. Oh boy. Good evening. It's nice to see you again. We are glad to see you, barista. By the way, I didn't catch your name the last time you visited. Do you have a name? Name? Sure we have. On Earth, please call us Neil. And we have met all the characters according to our latest achievement that just popped up. Ooh, we got something for Hyde. Part of Lost Angels Agency. Old enough, yet still seeking the truth and purpose in life. Did we get Neil's thing? We did. Nothing. Neil. Yes, Neil. Is that your real name? Oh, of course not. Due to the nature of our communication, we really don't need trivial things like names to interact. But from what we learned here, it seems like the name Neil has a lot of associations with Earthling efforts in intergalactic exploration. Oh, I get what you mean. I believe we did not meet the last time we were here. I saw you from afar when you left the coffee shop a few days ago. So, hello, my name is Freya. You could say I'm sort of a regular here. And you, sir, died. You come here often. For someone who doesn't live in Seattle, I suppose. Ooh, are you not from around here? Neither are we. Where you come from? Far away. By far away, you mean a few thousand miles or more? More. Much more. More to the point that your strange calculation system means nothing. That sounds very far indeed. What are you doing in Seattle? And do all your kind dress like that? Oh, this? We choose this appearance based on an image we saw when we first arrived. Image? Ah, the Army Gendru album cover. They really gonna... Come on, that's just a little weird not to say Jeremy Andrew. I mean, I get it for copyright reasons, but that's just a really weird way to make that. No wonder you look familiar. As for what we are doing, this place is really the perfect spot to practice our communication skills with Earthlings. But before that, please let us order something from the barista. What do you want to drink tonight? The usual. That is how you say it, yes? Oh, yeah, so anything? Yes, we won't be able to taste the difference anyway. You really can't taste anything? Yes. What if I brew a drink that can make you feel something? Interesting premise. But we doubt you'll be able to do that. Challenge accepted. Please surprise us. Huh. Let's try giving him the old, let's try to give him the, thing we're supposed to give Gala. Wait. I tried mixing it backwards and it looks like we actually got it this time. Yeah, at least we got that for him. Cup of anything ready for you. Alright, thank you. What the? Interesting. What are you doing? Drinking. That's how they drink. Oh boy. You are an interesting person. Thank you. That was a compliment, yes? More or less, normally, so. But you can't be so sure with Freya. That definitely was the highest form of compliment. What are you, Neil? Us? We are travelers. Doing our job in the space you call Milky Way. What kind of job? We are tasked with the mission to spread our seeds. You really are here to find a date. All the way from a galaxy far, far away. Wow. Turns out pervs exist everywhere in the universe. Feeling attacked, old man? Not really. You have a valid point. We do not understand, but we are glad if we make you laugh. Oh, trust me. The pleasure is all mine. If I may ask, why do you have to breed with us? We are sorry. That is classified information. Oh, man. Well, how's the mission so far? We cannot say it is going well. I'm not surprised. With how quirky and unique you are. Not many women can handle that. Could you handle them, though? Me? I don't know. What do you think? You're a pretty adventurous girl. I wouldn't be surprised if you decided to go on a date. Or maybe go further. If it got you a good story. Oh, you're not offended by that? Not in the slightest. You're wrong, though. I'd go on a date with them, but I don't like to sleep around. Really? To be honest, I didn't expect that. Yeah, I get that a lot. People often mistake me for someone who gets around a lot. Excuse me, miss. From what we gather, does that mean you are willing to breed with us in exchange for our stories? Wow, no wonder your mission isn't going well. I don't mind going out with you for a drink or dinner in exchange for stories. But I'll only sleep with someone I'm serious about. But our mission is serious. It's not that. You either have to be my boyfriend or husband if you want to sleep with me. We have heard of those terms before. Let us check them once again. Beep boop, beep boop. This is very strange. According to what we found, many Earthlings mate with one person exclusively. for their entire lives. Yes, that's called commitment. Such a strange concept. Then why, with such rules, do you face overpopulation problems? Um, now that you mention it, we don't have enough control of ourselves, and those in charge also don't have enough control of us. Not to mention some races live for a very long time, even though there are rules about having kids. And they can be strictly enforced. A lot of people break them. Well, we know Earthlings boast about the concept of free will, but we thought your kind also loved the concept of restraint and taking care of the planet. At least that was what we gathered from your information network. Theoretically, that should be the case. But Earthlings are stupid. That's the easiest way to put it. We learned so much today, but we have another question for you, Miss Freya. Ask away. How can we become your husband? First of all, I would suggest going step by step. Most of the time, you start by dating. Boyfriends or girlfriends, before you talk about marriage. Oh, okay. So, how can we become your boyfriend? You should start by asking her whether she's actually single. Understood. So, Miss Freya, are you single? Yes, I am single. Do you want to be our girlfriend? No. The path to starting to date varies between people. But usually take some time before you want to commit yourself to someone. Well, the breeding process on Earth is surely extremely complicated. It can be easier if you're a smooth talker. Smooth talker, someone good at communicating with others. That will be very challenging for us. Even after that, making kids is still in a total different league. Most women prefer it if their male partners wear things. Things? Something you wear to prevent pregnancy. Why do you want to do the mating rituals if you do not want to have offspring? Pleasure. All this information is too much to process in one evening. So we talk about using coats, but how does your kind reproduce? Like, seeing how you drink? Might be something you can't use at all. That's true. How do you do it? We are pretty flexible with that, but we cannot tell you the details unless you agree to the mating ritual. I don't want to imagine how that's done. Oh, you need not worry. We will not hurt anyone physically or mentally. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, especially the mental part. We did our research, and we tried in the testing object we made. It was proven. The mental capacity of Earthlings is far more complicated than anything else on Earth, sir. We did not know that. Being born on Earth sounds very difficult. Oh, it is? I have to agree with that. Anyway, thank you so much for the information you have given us tonight. It means a lot for our mission. We have to report our findings to the base. How will you proceed with your mission with this newfound information? We are not sure yet. It is yet to be discussed. After all, it was nice talking with you all. All of you. You're welcome. We are off now. Bye. Take care. On your way, sir. That was really something. Indeed. You said the first time they were here was for a date, right? Yeah, but their date never came. And they mistook Miss Myrtle for, well, their date. The game developer orc? Wow, I tried to think how that went. It was pretty awkward. But you can't be angry with such naivety. I guess so. By the way, has that young woman been back since I last spoke with her last time? You mean Miss Lua? Yeah, her. Oh, showing some concern now, are you? I'm just curious. No, I haven't seen her since. But her boyfriend did come a few days ago. Oh, and Freya was pretty nosy to the point that Mr. Gala joined the conversation. My, you really have a knack for starting trouble. Sadly, I have to agree with that. It's not easy to make Gala join a random conversation unless it really piques his interest or it annoys him. I don't know how to react to that, but I need to catch a flight to Seoul tomorrow, so I'm off for the day. Oh, you're leaving Seattle so soon? Only for a week or so. I'll be back sooner than you know. Well, it'll be a peaceful week then. Yeah. Anyway, I need to get going as well. Thank you for letting me stay without ordering anything. I don't care, you never pay anyway. I didn't even notice that. You really don't care about business. She didn't order anything, but she does attract people to the coffee shop. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Anyway, Freya, you want to share a cab? Thanks, but I'm riding my bike. Alright then, see you around. Take care on your way, folks. And that is a wrap for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. If you still are, please drop a comment on anything that you want to talk about in the comments. I'll be sure to respond and always look forward to seeing comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and subscribe if you are not. And until the next one, Bene Vale.